We're joined with Simon from Creek Creative, a part of our monthly slot with the Swale Arts Forum here at BRFM. Simon, firstly, can you tell us a little bit about yourself before we start talking about Creek Creative?
Oh, hi Daniel. Yeah, thanks. I'm a product designer and furniture designer first and foremost. That's my background, and I went on into set design and have done a number of things in the creative field. In more recent times, I've headed more towards the fine arts and concentrated on 3D. So I've spoken to a lot of designers and artists in the last few years, and have noticed that there was a gap in the local community, especially in Faversham, where there's a lot of creative talent that is hidden in and around the town, and needed to be brought together, I thought.
What is your connection with the Swale Arts Forum?
Right, well, met with Sue Pitu about probably 6 months ago or so, and we realised that there's a common thread, a sort of meeting of minds, if you like, in that she too was trying to bring together creative talent in the area, and through her Swale Arts project and the Polka Dot Arts Centre and that sort of thing, and we realised that we have a common goal. So we've Anne McLaren and myself have started to attend the Swale Arts Forum to see if we can push this relationship further.
Simon, what is Creek Creative?
Well, Creek Creative is a studio complex that we're setting up in Faversham Town Centre, and the object is really to, as I say, bring the creative talent of the area into a community, to share facilities and create affordable studios for a lot of creative people who struggle to pay commercial rates. So we realised that there were opportunities in the town of Faversham, because a particular building came up which was very suitable for a studio complex and gallery. So we started the process talking to we talked to a number of different landlords, and we isolated one in particular that seemed to be most suitable, and so we've now got ourselves in a situation where we've negotiated a lease and taken possession of the building, and we're busy transforming it into the facility that we hope will serve the local creative practitioners as best we can, really.
We are joined with Simon from Creek Creative as part of our monthly slot with the Swale Arts Forum here at the Monday Night Community Show. We're joined with Simon from Creek Creative from the Swale Arts Forum. So Simon, how did Creek Creative start, and what is its history?
Right, thanks Daniel. About 3 years ago, I think it was the end of 2006, there were basically I met Anne McLaren, and we had a number of conversations about the environment of creative practitioners in the area, because Anne had been organising the Artists Open House exhibitions for many years, about 5 I think, by that point. So we talked about how this could be joined together with a facility, because the Artists Open House, literally as the name suggests, is about artists opening their own houses to show their work, and it was to take this a step further and provide the facility for people to exhibit their work and possibly sell it, which is obviously a bonus. So we then got very excited about the possibilities, and we started doing a lot of research and went on a few courses to see how this might be managed, because obviously it was a big jump for us personally, because although Anne had been organising the exhibitions on a yearly basis, and I've been working as a sole trader and practitioner doing my own thing, we had to basically learn about the management of a company that would actually be able to achieve this. So we also went round to a number of other studio setups, and we had a very important meeting in early 2007, which really inspired us. It was in March with somebody called David Panton of Acme Studios, who's a very inspiring individual who's one of the key founders of Acme, and they'd basically been providing artist studios for 20 years or so, and was very positive about the provision of studio facilities and helping anyone who wants to further that sort of cause, if you like. So we went on from there to have a feasibility report and basically jump through a number of hoops to make this happen. And it's taken, as I say, that's basically 2 years really to turn it into a reality.
Where are you based, Simon?
Right, we're based in Faversham town centre, between the creek and the market square, basically. On the edge of a very attractive street, Abbey Street. Our address is actually number 1, and it's the what was, everyone might remember, the Frank and Whittam joinery, which sadly went under about 4 years ago. And it was only when we went to investigate this building we realised that how much potential this place had, and how much it was. How fond the local inhabitants of Faversham were of this place. And it turns out that a lot of people from the community had been worked their apprenticeships out in this joinery, and there's the building itself, where we're now established, is probably early 19th century brick building. It's got a lot of character, and it's got a great feel about it, and as I say, it's literally like a 2-minute walk from the very centre of town, which makes it very convenient for people to either as a workplace, but also for visitors, which really convinced us that this was the place for the project.
What are your aims?
Right, well, as mentioned, the idea is to sort of winkle out the creative talent which is in the area. I mean, that's not just Faversham, but the extended area across Swale and into the Canterbury areas. And as a result of many discussions, we realised that a lot of people were working from home in isolation. And in fact, I myself have been working in a studio at the other end of Abbey Street in Faversham, and that was a fairly isolated experience. And and Anne had been working from home too. So we realised that we weren't the only ones who had this feeling of isolation in work, and we wanted to bring everyone together in a community in one building. And once we started voicing this idea, we were amazed how popular it was, actually. So the idea is to basically create a platform for everyone to get their ideas out. And
an artist community.
Well, that's right, yeah, art and design. I mean, the important thing is it's not just an ivory tower for fine artists. It's a very practical facility that is for designer makers and artists and inventors, and to some extent performers, because only this last week we had a BBC film crew in to film one of our would-be tenants who has a sort of costume and prop and performance company, and they had a particularly effective animatronic dragon costume that they wanted to the BBC wanted to film in production, so they did it in our premises, which went down very well. So it shows the breadth of the sort of activities that we hope to host.
We are joined with Simon from Creek Creative as part of our monthly slot with the Swale Arts Forum here at the Monday Night Community Show on BRFM.